Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. It says, U.S. suffers most new COVID-19 cases in 5 weeks, as doctors warn of apocalyptic fall. Right? Um, let's see. Let's go down. Let's actually get the article. And it's interesting here, as you can see this chart. So it says the U.S. remains on the cusp of passing the critical 200,000 death threshold as deaths slowed on Monday, while the number of new cases reported accelerated to its highest daily toll since August 14th. Another 52,070 cases were announced on Monday, while only 356 deaths were reported. The virus has continued to accelerate since the end of the summer as new hotspots have emerged in the Midwest and in parts of the South. Meanwhile, New York and New Jersey have both seen cases tick higher, even as both states have dragged their feet on reopening. The U.S. has confirmed a total of 6,857,703 cases, while globally John Hopkins is counted. Now, you have you have doctors, all right, that are saying that. Well, actually, it's actually going to say it here. It says, as more doctors and scientists warn about an apocalyptic fall. All right, it's very interesting that they use the word apocalyptic. Okay, an apocalyptic fall in the U.S. and it's spiritual how a fall, all right, in the sense of the season, but fall also in the sense of the action. Okay, because it seems like this is gonna be this is gonna really bring the U.S. down. All right, it's gonna be a real big fall, possibly an economic fall as well. Okay, you already having talks about, damn, she got her whole gums out. Man, I just but hey, you got the tension with the elections. Okay, you have all these things that are about to take place. All right, all within this span. All right, of this fall. Now, let's look up the word apocalyptic or apocalypse. It says the complete and final destruction of the world as described in the biblical book of Revelation. So hold up. Even in the definition, they reverence the Bible? Whoa. I thought the Bible was man-made. I thought it wasn't real. All right. Now, it's not going to be the destruction of the whole entire world. It will be the destruction of the world in the sense of the word eon, which is the age. This age is going to be done away with, and a new age is going to be brought to come to pass. It says, an event involving destruction or damage on an awesome or catastrophic scale. Not awesome in the sense of, because when people hear awesome, they think of like, oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's cool. No, awesome as in it will have you in awe. Okay? Shocking. So an event involving destruction or damage on an awesome or catastrophic scale. And then they gave an example, a stock market apocalypse, all right, which is a good example. So you have doctors and scientists warning of an event, okay, more than likely, obviously, they're mainly referring to this virus, but this fall is looking like it's going to be very apocalyptic, all right, this fall going into winter. It says in the U.S., Bloomberg is reporting that college campuses have become veritable reservoirs of COVID-19 infection, and that the growing case totals, might spill over into the rest of the U.S. as kids head home for the holidays. Now, this is very important. You have to keep in mind, whenever they start mentioning problems, they always have a quote unquote solution. Okay, it's called problem, reaction, solution. Whenever they start mentioning problems, start thinking ahead, because they're warning of this apocalyptic fall, and they're saying one of the big causes is these college students, because they called them back to campus, but now as the cases are rising while they're on campus, they're gonna let them go back home and spread the virus. And you already got Fauci that's already pushing that they shouldn't let college students go back home. See, they were planning to end the semester early, all right, and then let the students go back home. But now, it might seem as though they might not let them go back home. we'd have to wait and see, because it's not by coincidence that the CDC came out and already warned parents, all right, to prepare for a sudden sleepover with their children, okay, at school. It doesn't mean you're gonna be sleeping over with your kids. It means your kids are gonna be staying over there. All right. It says, we may be in for a very apocalyptic fall. I'm sorry to say. All right. Dr. Peter Hotez, Dean of the National School of Tropical Medicine at Baylor College of Medicine, told CNN. And here's more from Bloomberg. Amid an outbreak, the University of Colorado will teach all classes remotely for at least 2 weeks beginning Wednesday to help protect the health and safety of our Boulder community. Chancellor Phil DiStefano said Monday. The New Jersey Institute of Technology last week quarantined 300 people after the virus was found in their dorms' wastewater. The University of Wisconsin at River Falls ordered all students to shelter in place after a surge in cases. Now, if you knew that this was going to happen, why the hell would you call them back to the campus? Okay? It says, and Florida State University's football coach announced he had tested positive. With many schools planning to end their semester at the November holiday, students will disperse across the country and some will bring the disease with them. You hear that? That is the propaganda. Some will bring the disease with them. Now, that's going to cause widespread because some are going here, some are traveling here, they're spreading it. So what do we do? Should we let them come back? Should we keep them on campus? All right. And don't be surprised if they come out and say, you know what? Certain colleges are saying that they rather just have the students stay on campus, or they'll send them to nice temporary shelters, aka FEMA shelters. But to let them come back into circulation, into the population, that might just exacerbate the spread of the virus. So we cannot allow you to do that. Just saying that is a possibility they could go with. It says, this is beyond our wildest nightmares, said Gavin Yame, a physician who directs Duke University Center for Policy Impact on Global Health. It has been a debacle, a national catastrophe, and in many ways you could consider it a third wave. The third wave is a university reopening wave. It was a self-inflicted national wound. All right, now was it on purpose? Of course it was. They're not making these moves to try and decrease the virus. They need the virus to spread so they can push their propaganda. Okay? Universities were bleeding revenue when they called students back for the fall semester. Facing cuts as tuition and fees plunged, some plowed ahead with lucrative football games despite their potential to draw crowds. But as students returned, infection rates increased. Many schools are now running out of space to house those who tested positive. So what's the solution for that? We need to now find somewhere we can properly isolate them. That's enough space. You mean like the 800 plus FEMA camps that are already set up around the U.S.? I think something like that will work. It says administrators are struggling to keep infections contained as students venture off campus for coffee or hang out at bars and parties. If infected students go home, there is a risk that they could seed outbreaks all around the country. Outbreaks are outbreaks that are ultimately caused by the university reopening, said Yami. So you hear where the propaganda and the problem lies? If we let these students go home, there's a risk that they could seed the outbreak all around the country. So what do we do about that? Well, what's Fauci saying? All right, you see how they playing this, man? If you knew that this was a possibility, why didn't you just continue to do the remote learning if you were anticipating another wave? All right, so it says in Europe, the German city of Munich mandated masks to be worn in popular outdoor areas. But people been wearing masks since this thing came out, and they said wear masks, and the virus is still here. It didn't make the virus disappear. All right, it says in popular outdoor areas in response to rising coronavirus cases after the capital of Bavaria crossed the national threshold of 50 cases per 100,000 residents for 7 straight days. After crossing this threshold, local governments are supposed to tighten regulations or impose localized restrictions. There it is. As the numbers go up, so do these restrictions and regulations. Okay. Um, let me just skim through this some more. Okay, now I was just gonna go into different the different countries and their different cases. The UK, Hong Kong, Australia, which we know the numbers are going up. Okay, and that's why you got this guy out here, basically now announcing new restrictive measures that they're gonna put in place. Okay, and this is something we've been telling you about, man. But it's very interesting. They said that what they warned of an apocalyptic fall, and that's exactly what we're going into. Now let's get the scriptures. This is Matthew 24, verse 20. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And that sounds apocalyptic to me. And it's funny because what comes before winter? Fall. Okay. Verse 22, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. All right, because if the Lord didn't shorten those days, man, the destruction is so much. All right, just like the Lord had to hold the angel back when he was sending them plagues upon Israel in the time of King David's rulership. Okay, because it's gonna be death is gonna have a field day out here. Let's just put it like that. All right, now this is Daniel chapter 12, verse 1, since they mention apocalyptic. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and those are Israelites. And there shall be a time of trouble, apocalyptic trouble, all right, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. So since the beginning of creation, when nations were created, okay, nothing that has transpired from that point on until now is going to compare to what's about to happen. That sounds very apocalyptic, all right? And the thing about it is, it's right around the corner. Not even around the corner. You can see it. It's walking towards you right now. All right. It says, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. In what book? In the book of life. All right. Not Santa's book of naughty and nice, but in the book of life. And those that are written in the book of life, the Lamb's book of life, are the elect. Okay. And if you're not a part of that number, man, you better be scared. You better be very, very scared, man. The scriptures say, rise up. All right. And that goes double for you women. All right, because it tells you in the book of Isaiah, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Tremble, ye careless daughters. Okay? Because you're not watching the times. You're not redeeming the days because they're evil. All right? You're living your regular life hoping that this thing is about to end. Well, that's not what these doctors and scientists are saying. All right? And ultimately, the scriptures say otherwise. So we're going to watch and see what happens. But, hey, you can expect some real heavy destruction coming up very soon. So, Lord willing, you were edified and informed. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha, Kodesh. Until next time, Shalom.